Florida Congressman Byron Donalds has announced, yes, he is entering the race for governor of Florida. President Trump has endorsed Donalds, but Governor DeSantis has not.
My view is Donald Trump just got into office. I want these congressmen focused on enacting his agenda. The reality is we've achieved victories in Florida. We need to start achieving those victories up there. So I think people look at it and say, you got a guy like Byron, he just hasn't been a part of any of the victories that we've had here over the left over these last years. He's just not been a part of it.
Well, look who's here now, Congressman Byron Donalds, the man himself. DeSantis says you were not part of the victories. Would you like to respond to that?
No, not really. Listen, Stu, I'm just really thankful, first, to have the support of President Trump and have his complete and total endorsements to run to be the next governor of Florida. I would say in terms of what I've been able to accomplish in my time in elected politics, when I was a freshman in the state legislature, I passed the first bill of its kind in the country that gave parents and community members an ability to actually examine what was in the textbook materials of students, so we could actually find out what was actually going on in the indoctrination of our kids. I passed that bill into law in the state legislature of Florida. Then Governor Rick Scott signed it. I also passed one of the major expansions of school choice at that time in Florida's history with the Hope Scholarship to help children who were being bullied in schools, to give them an opportunity to go to another school of their choice and of their parents' choice. So I've been very successful in helping the move of school choice and also the move of the conservative movement through politics over the last decade. Look, my record speaks for itself. I'm very happy to have President Trump's support. And so right now, this is about the future of Florida, the voters of Florida, and doing everything possible to make sure that not only do we continue to be the best state in the country, but that we take it to new heights.
All right, Congressman, Republicans were able to push through the framework for Trump's big, beautiful bill last night. First step in funding the president's agenda and extending those tax cuts, very important. Can you give us a time frame for when we get the whole thing done and signed by the president?
Look, I think it's gonna be a lot of negotiations. If you were gonna ask me, I think probably around May, maybe June, we probably all get it done. There's gonna be major negotiations around some elements of tax policy, not the big stuff that the president talks about, not the major reauthorization of the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. I think there's some other items that need to get worked out, and we'll get there. The center of this deal is going to be mandatory spending. There has to be mandatory spending reductions. We simply do not have a choice. What Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did is they massively expanded federal spending, and they used COVID-19 as an excuse. Our nation simply cannot afford that over the long term. We have to be realistic, we have to be efficient, and we have to be responsible. And so House Republicans working with Senate Republicans under the leadership of President Trump, we're going to get this done. But spending cuts is really going to be the linchpin to get this entire one big beautiful bill done into the president's desk as soon as possible.
You're introducing a bill to shut down the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. What's wrong with it? Why are you doing that?
Well, listen, this is legislation that I've filed every year I've been in Congress. The CFPB is one of the worst agencies ever created. It is a rogue agency that has little to no oversight from Congress or even from the executive branch. They go off and they put out memos, they put out notices, they walk in and out of companies with impunity. They don't even get their money from Congress. They go to the Federal Reserve and they just send a letter over there saying we need X amount of money, and the Fed gives it to them. That's how the CFPB was designed by Elizabeth Warren and the radical Democrats when they were moving Dodd-Frank. They designed it to be a rogue agency outside of the oversight of Congress. That does not respect our Constitution. It doesn't respect the will of the people, and that's why that agency must be closed.
Got it. Congressman Byron Donalds from Florida. Thanks for joining us, sir. We always appreciate it. Thank you very much.